Hey guys, hope you're all doing well and welcome to another video. For a long time I've studied these wood totems from various angles, trying to find any clue that would help me figure out who these totems depict. And for a long time I made myself believe that these characters are Northri, Suthri, Ostri and Vestri. Now if you don't know who they are the four dwarves who support one of each cardinal points: north, south, east and west. It is said that together they hold the heavenly dome which was created from Ymir's skull. I thought this was reasonable because there are four of them, one in each direction, and these totems are somewhere in Midgard, so who else could it be? But just below there are these writings. The first time I tried deciphering them I could grab a word here or there, but I just couldn't make any sense of it, and after much frustration I gave up. But after many months go by, and starting probably my 50-something playthrough, I found myself once again interested in these totems. So again, I tried translating them, I did further research into the runes, I tried something a little different, which really helped. I believe I can now say that I have a good grasp of what is said here. I am not saying I have the exact translation, but I think I get the gist, so if anyone else has translated this, or will try to after watching this video, and you think you have a better version than mine, feel free to send it to me on Twitter. I shared these writings with this fellow God of War fan just the other day, and more or less came up with the same translation as myself. So here is my translation. Svetovid was once the God of War, who ruled over this land. We build these totems for the ancient gods. The true God of War can claim this land for the people again. The most important part about this translation isn't whether the translation is correct. The most important part is that it gives a name, Svetovid, or Svetovid, which I believe is the proper way to say it. But I'm going to continue calling him Svetovid just because that is how it is shown in the game. The translation also makes note of the true God of War. The obvious would point to Kratos, but could it be Tyr, or potentially even Atreus? Interpret that however you please. So now that I have found a name, of course I had to start my research, and it didn't take me long until I found the exact same idol in relation to Svetovid. It even makes an appearance in the film The Northman, which you can see here. So who is Svetovid? He is a god of war in Slavic mythology. He has 4 heads, he has a horn, a sword and a bow, which is also shown on the totem. I believe he was the most worshipped god by the Western Slavs, although they were polytheistic. He was chief god of the Slavic tribe the Rani, who I believe were formed in the 9th century. The Rani did raid and were said to be quite wealthy, at least in those times. They were believed to have gotten as far as Norway. This Rani tribe was destroyed in 1168 AD by the Danish king Valdemar. Now if I got my time periods correct, then this Rani tribe was formed after the Viking Age, and from what Corey Barlog has said in the past, we are in a time before the Viking Age began. So here is the part where I start theorizing, sharing my thoughts as to what this could mean. So if my translation is more or less correct, it sounds as if Svetovid himself, or the Slavs, maybe both, had ambition to conquer new lands, and it seems they were somewhat successful. At least for a time, as it notes Svetovid did rule this part of Midgard. The location of these totems are right next to a Jotnar settlement and marketplace. Did Svetovid become friends of the giants? I think that is quite possible, mostly because if you look around the area, you will see a fair amount of runes that we aren't used to, and words that don't seem to have meaning. As far as I can tell anyway, or I'm just dumb, which is true as well. So with the introduction to Slavic myth and the language they speak, could this language have been learned? Did they create a blend of the Norse and Slavic language? Could this be the dead language? But that's a different theory entirely. The main question I think I want to know in relation to Svetovid is, where is Svetovid now? Was he defeated by Odin? Is he dead? Or could he have joined the Aesir? Or did he flee back to his homeland? Has Odin slowly started conquering lands, which is why he and some of the other Norse gods are worshipped in Germania? Is he plotting to go further east? Either way, I personally hope Svetovid survived and is someone we get to meet at some point, as I will never tire of meeting new gods from different lands, whether they are friend or foe. There is one other idea I had, although I don't have any faith in it. I wonder if Svetovid is actually native to the Norse lands and is actually a giant. I say this because when Ymir first birthed his first giant, the giant was said to have 6 heads, and as far as I can see, there weren't any others. So maybe this first giant had children of its own, and they later moved on, or they escaped the wrath of Odin and Thor, and ended up forming their own minor pantheon a fair distance away. but that's one hell of a long shot, so I doubt this is the case. But to further show this is a deity from Slavic myth, there is also this symbol. This symbol is called a kolovrat. There are 3 versions of it, and of course its meaning has changed over the many years, and depending which way the wheel turns, it has its own meaning. But either way, the kolovrat was apparently very important to the Slavic people. But to end the video, if you are willing, I would like to give you all the task to find out who these totems depict. I have tried and I think I have failed, and I think it's fair to assume that these totems were built by the same people. So you would think that these totems would be Slavic gods as well. The deities who I think they depict are Radagast and Perun. If you look at Radagast's wiki, you will see drawings of him with a bird on his head. So I feel like this is the closest Slavic god I can connect the totem to. The other totem I couldn't find anything on. My only real guess is that it is either another depiction of Svetovid, similar to this wood carving, or this could actually be Perun, who is thought to be the supreme deity in Slavic myth, so it would make sense to dedicate a totem to him as well. But that is all I have for this one. I would greatly appreciate it if you would like and share the video, as it really does help the channel. Subscribe and click the bell to be notified for every time I post. Let me know any thoughts you have down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you in the next one.